Hello folks, I'm George Morrison, and yes, I have played Santa Claus for charity for most of the last 50 years. Today I'd like to tell you a little bit about Crimson Liberty. You can go on Smashwords, iTunes, or Barnes & Noble and read a sample, and let me tell you something about the development of it. Well, first, let me tell you a little bit about me. I'm a practicing therapist, psychologist, industrial psychology consultant, and I've been working in this field for most of the past 50 years. But I started writing in my 30s and have continued to write, and my goal was to begin publishing after I retired. Well, I've retired twice, but I can't quite stay away. But I'm ready to publish anyway. I've got a eBook edition out on Smashwords and Barnes & Noble and iTunes. But you get traction with critics and in the literary world if you have a hard copy book with a 4-color dust jacket. And that's what I'm trying to accomplish. Crimson Liberty is an idea that came to me one night in a dream when I was in a relationship that had reached a little stormy patch. And I wrote the first 5 chapters pretty quickly. I was speaking with a friend of mine, a dear friend named Maggie, and she said, "George, I've heard tell that writers should be able to write the ending of the book before they even write the beginning." I said, "Maggie, I'll take your challenge." So I sat down and I wrote the last chapter. Well, as it turns out, because there's a denouement, it's the next to the last chapter. But then I took what I had done and where I was going and filled in the rest, and I've been working on it and polishing it since. I'm very pleased with the condition that it's in now. And most of the people who read the book say it's a very good read. With your permission, I'll read you a small excerpt. Let me set the stage. At this point in the novel, Dewey Spearman has gone to New Orleans to take the assignment. He first protested, but has found rather interesting. And he's met all the important characters in the novel. After a disturbing evening with one of the characters, he's standing in Jackson Square on his way to the theater, having his beignet and coffees, and watching the street performers. The street cleaning crews had swept through earlier, the horse-drawn carriages hadn't started yet, and only one drunk importuned me for $1 to buy a beer. If I put aside the minor irritations of a stiff and sore neck and of not being able to recall dressing myself, it looked like it could be a good day. I quickly changed my mind when I walked into the theater and came face to face with a dead chicken hanging about 2 feet in front of me from the rigging. A fighting cock by the looks of it. He must have been a splendid specimen when he lived. Now, with his eyes dull and cloudy as he hung by his despurred feet with wings akimbo and his feathers ruffled away from his body by the unrelenting force of gravity, he looked like a mare's nest of russet feathers with a few streaks of silver and teal. I looked for visible wounds, but I saw none, nor did I see blood on the floor. Gently I lifted him and turned him upright. His head lolled to the side. Clearly his neck was wrung, broken. This kind of injury does not happen in the wild. This was human work. I went to the green room and dialed 911, and an operator responded. 911, what do you want down there at the Theatre Via Carré? Obviously they had installed automated address location equipment. I'd like you to send the police over. What's the problem? I've got a dead cock here. How do you know it's dead? It's limp as a dish rag. Hey, my friend, that happens to every guy now and then. It'll be okay when you sober up. Look, there's a dead cock hanging from the rigging. A rooster. It has a broken neck. I don't need the paramedics, and I'm probably more sober than most judges. I'd like you to send someone over to investigate. I'm Dewey Spearman, and I'll be waiting. Okay, Mr. Spearman, we'll send somebody over. But why don't you wait outside? That cock killer could still be lurking in the shadows. You know what I mean? Why do I think you are taking this seriously? There might really be someone here. It's okay, my friend. We'll send somebody over. It's not every day we get to investigate a chicken crime. Wait outside. We'll have someone over there in a few minutes. I hung up and went outside to wait. In a few minutes, 2 men came around the corner on foot. Somehow they just looked like cops. The taller man, a black man, was wearing brown slacks, a green plaid lightweight sports coat, a white shirt, a purple tie, and a tan straw fedora with a purple hatband. The shorter one, a white man, was wearing mustard slacks, a royal blue t-shirt, and a denim vest. The tall man opened his jacket and the shorter man opened his vest to flash badges and show guns. The taller one spoke. I'm Lieutenant Thibodeau, and this is Officer Landowski, he said, tilting his head towards the white man. He's our token minority. Are you Spearman, the guy with the limp cock? Yes, I said, irritated with the way he put the question. Landowski said, would you like us to take you over to Big Ethel's to get it fixed? And then he grinned. I could see that both men were on the edge of laughter, and I had to admit, grudgingly, that the situation made for humorous byplay. So I let my irritation pass and jumped into the game. No thanks, boys. This cock's definitely a goner. Not even Hurricane Hattie could blow it back to life. It's fricasseed. You want to come in and see it? And that's the end of this excerpt. I thank you for your time and your attention, and thank you for your support.